Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine you've got multiple video sources, maybe a few streaming boxes, a gaming console, a Blu-ray player.
Right, the usual setup.
Exactly. And you want the flexibility to send any of those sources to any of several different displays, TVs or projectors, maybe all at the same time.
Yeah, that sounds like it could get complicated fast. A real tangled mess of cables.
It really could. So today we're doing a deep dive into a specific piece of hardware designed to make that whole process seamless. The world of HDMI matrix switches.
Good topic. These things are pretty powerful.
Our mission today isn't just like reading off specs. We want to really explore a specific example, the WolfPack Silver 1080p 8x8 HDMI Matrix Switch, almost like a case study.
Okay.
We'll look at exactly what it does, how it works, the surprisingly clever ways you could control it, and even what its journey tells us about how fast AV tech evolves.
Right, because things change so quickly in this space.
Exactly. So by the end, you should have a really clear picture of what these devices offer for managing complex video setups and maybe what to look for now.
Sounds good.
So let's start right there. What exactly is an 8x8 HDMI matrix switch, like this WolfPack Silver model? What's its core job for someone dealing with lots of screens?
Okay, well, essentially, think of it as the central command center for your video distribution. It's the brain, really.
Uh-huh.
When we say a true 8x8 HDMI matrix switch, it means it has 8 HDMI inputs and 8 HDMI outputs.
8 in, 8 out.
Got it. Right. So you connect up to 8 different sources, Blu-ray players, cable boxes, consoles, whatever you've got.
Okay.
And you can then route any of those 8 sources to any of your 8 displays.
Anything.
Exactly. And what's really powerful is the flexibility. You could send, say, input 1 just to output 3, or you could send input 1 to all 8 outputs simultaneously.
Right.
Or, any mix you want. Input 1 to outputs 1 and 2, input 5 to outputs 3, 4, and 7. You get the idea.
Complete control then.
That's the goal. It gives you total control over that multi-screen environment, whether it's a, really tricked out home theater or a busy commercial space like a sports bar.
That level of control sounds incredibly useful. So when we talk performance, what were the key technical details? What really defined this specific WolfPack Silver model? What made it tick?
Well, this unit was specifically built around 1080p resolution. It supported 1080p at 60 Hz perfectly, and it was also backward compatible, with lower resolutions like 720p.
Okay, 1080p focus.
Right. And it followed the HDMI 1.4 and HDCP 1.4 standards.
So what does that actually mean for the viewer? HDMI 1.4, HDCP 1.4.
Good question. HDMI 1.4 brought in features like deep color. That means richer, more vibrant colors on screen, much wider range than standard color. It also enabled lip sync, which is crucial. It makes sure the audio and video are perfectly synchronized so people's mouths match what they're saying. No annoying delays.
Yeah, that can be really distracting.
Definitely. And it supported HD lossless audio formats. Think Dolby Digital True HD and DTS HD Master Audio. Basically uncompressed cinema quality sound.
Nice. And the raw power. You mentioned bandwidth.
Yeah, for raw throughput, it had a bandwidth of 340 megahertz. That translates to about 10.2 gigabits per second data rate.
Okay.
And a maximum pixel clock of 165 megahertz. So what that really means is it had enough pipeline, enough capability to push that high-quality 1080p 60 hertz signal out to multiple displays without lag or any picture breakdown.
Right.
And a really crucial bit for making sure everything actually plays is its built-in HDCP 1.4 management. HDCP is that copy protection stuff.
Ah, the handshake.
Exactly, the digital handshake. This device handled all that key authentication and negotiation internally.
Yeah.
That helps get rid of those frustrating moments where a screen just goes blank because of a compatibility issue.
Yeah, I've seen that.
We all have. And finally, switching between different inputs was actually pretty quick, typically around 4 seconds to change sources.
4 seconds, okay. Not instant, but not bad for this kind of routing.
Right, it's pretty standard for the time.
Now, you mentioned signal integrity. Our sources highlighted some specific requirements for cable lengths. What does someone need to know about cabling for this system to get the best results?
Yeah, that's a really vital point for any installation, honestly. You can't just use any old cable, especially for longer runs.
Right.
For this model, to guarantee optimal performance, it supported HDMI output cables up to 25 feet, but they recommended using 24 AWG cable.
AWG, that's the wire thickness, right?
Exactly. American wire gauge. Lower number means thicker wire, which is better for carrying the signal over distance without loss.
Okay, 25 feet output, 24 gauge. What about inputs?
Inputs were a bit shorter, recommended around 15 feet maximum.
And what if you needed to go further than 25 feet on the output, say to a projector at the back of a room?
Good scenario. For longer distances, the system was designed to work with optional HDMI CT6 extenders.
Ah, using network cable.
Precisely. These little boxes convert the HDMI signal so it can run over standard KT6 network cable, which can go much, much further, hundreds of feet sometimes. They did cost extra, though. The sources mentioned about $75 per extender set, one transmitter and one receiver.
Gotcha. So an add-on cost for those longer runs.
Yep. But it gave you that needed flexibility.
That makes sense. Okay, one of the really impressive things that jumped out from the material was just how many different ways you could control this device.
Yeah.
The sources mentioned 6 ways to control it. Can you walk us through those? Seems like a lot.
It really was quite comprehensive, yeah. That control suite was definitely a key selling point, offering loads of flexibility depending on the setup.
Okay, so what were they?
Right, number 1, a standard IR remote control. Simple, point-and-shoot, line-of-sight control.
Okay, the basic remote.
Number 2, dedicated iOS and Android apps. The notes mentioned they recommended using these on a tablet, probably just for more screen real estate to see everything clearly.
Makes sense for an 8x8 grid.
Totally.
Right.
Number 3, RS-232 serial control. Now, this is more for professional or integrated systems. Think Crestron, Control4, smart home automation hubs, allows for really deep integration.
Right, for the pros.
Number 4, PC software. So you could manage it directly from a connected computer, maybe for setup or detailed configuration.
Okay.
Number 5, the good old front panel buttons. It had physical buttons right on the unit itself, along with a little LCD display, so you can walk up and switch things directly.
Handy for quick changes.
And number 6, which is maybe the most versatile, a Web GUI, a graphical user interface you could access just using a standard web browser.
Oh, so from any device on the network.
Pretty much, yeah. No special app needed. Just log into its web page from your phone, tablet, computer, whatever. Super flexible.
That is a lot of options.
It is. And they even threw in, as a kind of bonus, a free DirecTV control system. So clearly targeting some specific integration needs there, too.
Why so many, do you think?
Versatility, really. Whether you were a homeowner wanting a simple app, or an installer setting up a complex commercial system needing RS-232, or just needed quick access from the front panel, it offered away. Covered all the bases.
Okay, that makes sense. So given all these capabilities, the 8x8 routing, the control methods, where would you actually find a device like this WolfPack Silver 8x8 in action?
Yeah.
Who is it really built for?
Well, it's designed for pretty much any environment that needs solid multi-display video distribution. The sources actually listed a huge range of applications.
Like what?
Okay, think sports bars and restaurants, obvious choice, right? Different games on different TVs.
Definitely.
Also, casinos, bowling alleys, fitness centers, places where you have lots of screens showing different content, malls, even places of worship.
Huh, okay. Wider range than I might have thought.
Yeah, and then more technical places like data centers, maybe for monitoring, gaming rooms for serious setups, nail salons, maybe showing different channels or movies.
Oh, okay.
Country clubs, factories for process monitoring perhaps, conference rooms for presentations, schools.
So really broad.
Very broad. And of course, sophisticated home theaters, someone with multiple TVs or projectors in different zones of their house.
Right, the high-end home user.
Exactly. And beyond just routing video, it had some other neat features mentioned. It promised a sharp 1080p HD picture, which you'd expect. It had a relatively small chassis for an 8x8 matrix, which is good for fitting it in racks.
Yeah.
And this is pretty useful, the ability to save and recall preset scenes.
Oh, so like configurations.
Yeah. You could set up common routing patterns like maybe Sunday football mode, where specific games go to specific TVs in the bar, save it, and then recall that entire setup with just one command.
That's really handy. Saves a lot of button pressing.
Huge time saver. It also supported closed caption pass-through, which is important for accessibility.
Good point.
And for the pro installers, it was 19-inch rack-mountable, which is the standard size for AV racks. Fit right in.
Okay.
And one last thing that showed, sort of, company commitment. HDTV Supply apparently offered free lifetime telephone, chat, text, and email tech support for this specific product.
Lifetime support. Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's definitely a plus.
So, okay, we've painted a picture of a really capable, feature-packed 1080p matrix switch here.
Yeah.
But you mentioned earlier how fast tech moves. If we connect this back to the bigger picture, what's its current status, and what does that tell us?
Right. This is where the story takes a turn, I guess. Well, it sounds like a great device for its time, super robust.
Yeah.
Our sources clearly state that the specific model, the WolfPack Silver 1080p 8x8 HDMI Matrix Switch, part number HDTV 8x8, is now listed as discontinued and has no stock. It's gone.
So, end of the line for this particular model.
Yep. And it really highlights just how quickly even quite advanced gear can become, well, legacy technology in the AV world. The push is always forward.
Towards higher resolutions, mainly.
Primarily, yeah. The market shifted hard towards 4K, and now we're even seeing 8K becoming more common, at least in marketing. So 1080p, while still fine for many, isn't the cutting edge anymore.
So what does this mean for someone looking for this kind of solution today? Is the whole idea of a matrix switch outdated because this one is discontinued?
Oh, not at all. Matrix switches are absolutely still relevant, maybe even more so with more complex setups. It's just that the technology inside them has evolved.
Okay.
To give you some context, this 1080p unit, its listed price was around $350.
$350, okay.
The same company, HDTV Supply, still sells WolfPack HDMI Matrix switchers today, but now they're focused on 4K models, even 8K models.
In their prices.
Significantly higher. The sources mention they range from maybe $600 up to $2,000 or even more, depending on the specs and capabilities.
Right, so this 1080p model was probably more of an entry-level or maybe just an older generation product in their lineup.
Exactly. It was likely a more accessible option back then. It's a perfect example of the tech life cycle. The core concept, flexible routing, stays vital, but the specs like resolution, bandwidth, HDCP versions, they all keep marching forward, and prices adjust accordingly.
So, okay, we've really taken a deep dive into this WolfPack Silver 1080p 8x8 switch. It's actually been fascinating, even though it's discontinued, because it tells us so much.
Yeah, it's a great window into that kind of technology.
We've seen how it gave, really impressive control over multiple video sources and displays. It had a great feature set, that sharp 1080p picture, the internal HDCP handling, those 6 different control methods.
It's making it super adaptable, from sports bars to fancy home theaters.
Exactly. A huge range of uses.
And even though this specific model isn't around anymore, just understanding the thought that went into it, things like saving preset scenes, offering that lifetime tech support, it really shows the kind of ingenuity needed to tackle these complex AV setups.
It really does.
And it kind of brings up an interesting question for you listening out there. In today's world, everything's getting connected. Resolutions keep jumping higher and higher, 4K, 8K. How do you personally balance the need for really comprehensive features and flexible control like this